Tom Hanks is probably one of the most well-known actors still working in Hollywood today. With roles in films like Forrest Gump, Castaway, and Saving Private Ryan, Hanks has taken cinema-goers into his characters and beyond. If you're a Hanks lover like basically everyone is, here are a few facts you may find interesting about the man himself. 10. He's been married twice, once in 1978, the other in 1988. Hanks married his first wife, Samantha Lewis, in 1978 and they went on to have 2 children, Colin and Elizabeth, together. They eventually divorced in 1987. Tom later went on to marry Rita Wilson a year later. And they have been happily married ever since. They have one of the longest-standing marriages in Hollywood, a notorious place for breakups, I'm sure you'll agree, and they still seem as happy as Larry. At the post-premiere in 2018, 30 years after they were married. 9. Tom is practically American royalty. The president is the closest thing to a king the Americans have, and Tom Hanks just so happens to be related to one. According to Hanks himself, "I'm related to Abraham Lincoln. His mother was called Nancy Hanks, and the members of my branch of the family are either cousins or in-laws or poor relations." 8. Splash catapulted Hanks' career and set him up for the future as a star. After the director of Splash noticed his performance in Bosom Buddies, and so offered him the chance to audition. He originally went for the supporting part, played by John Candy, but was offered the lead role because they were so impressed with his audition. 7. He supports a championship football team. Oddly, Tom Hanks is an avid supporter of the Birmingham-based club, Aston Villa FC. In an interview whilst promoting his film Captain Phillips, he said that whilst he'd only seen one match he was definitely a fan. He said, "I try to keep up. I have a very good friend that lives and dies by Aston Villa, he's in Los Angeles as well, so I'm always getting my updates from him." 6. I Captain. Tom Hanks has played no less than 4 different captains in the past few decades, showcasing his incredible talent in the more serious roles of his career. The most recent examples were in 2013 and 2016 respectively as Captain Phillips and Sully. And who could forget his Apollo 13, 1995, and Saving Private Ryan, 1998, one film that always gets me in the feels. 5. He's space-obsessed. According to countless interviews, Hanks has been obsessed with space since a young age, so much so he even wanted to be an astronaut. In an interview with Good Morning America, he spoke about how he even used to practice being in zero-gravity conditions at the bottom of his pool. "I would put a brick in the bottom of my pants and sit at the bottom of the pool breathing through a garden hose." Houston, we have a problem. Tom still hasn't grown out of his childhood dream, and often talks of his aspiration of being an astronaut. 4. He's also obsessed with something slightly unusual. Typewriters. Yep, typewriters are a personal obsession of Tom's and he has been collecting them since 1978. In his own essay for the New York Times, Tom stated that, "I use a manual typewriter, and the United States Postal Service, almost every day." His obsession began when a shopkeeper refused to fix his typewriter, telling him it was a worthless toy. This sparked an obsession, starting with the Hermes 2000, apparently the Cadillac of typewriters. He now owns well over 80 typewriters, which he uses depending on what sound he feels like. 2. He is worth megabucks. Now, I know it's not all that surprising, but it had to be said, Hanks is worth a pretty penny. His films are said to have racked up at least $9 billion worldwide. Even in the 90s he was earning some seriously crazy money. He received $40 million for Saving Private Ryan and $70 million for Forrest Gump, figures that rarely occur now. Tom's face when he saw his check for Forrest Gump. In 2017, Hanks racked up a total of $31 million and was the 12th highest paid actor of that year. He currently has a net worth of approximately $350 million, not bad. 1. Awards galore. Unsurprisingly, Tom has been the recipient of many an award over the course of his career, breaking a few records along the way. In 2002, he was awarded the American Film Institute's Life Achievement Award, and broke the record for the youngest ever recipient at the age of 45. Going back to his roots as Captain, he is also one of only 2 actors that have won back-to-back Oscars, one in 1993 for Philadelphia, the next in 1994 for Forrest Gump. The only other actor that has this accolade is Spencer Tracy for his movies in 1937 and 1938, Not Bad Going. This, in addition to his countless other awards and nominations, just goes to show how good Tom really is. What a gem. Thank you for spending time with us. Make sure you subscribed.